Okay, good morning and welcome everyone. If we are all here, let's get started.
Hi Atikah, how are you?
Morning, Atikah.
Hi, Atikah. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah,
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm doing great too. This is a pleasant surprise. What are you doing in Johor, Atikah?
Oh, I'm here to settle my business matter and maybe I will return back to KL in next week.
I see.
Oh, all right.
Okay, let's get started our meeting today. So the objective of today's meeting to check the progress of the action plan met during last meeting. So in the previous meeting, CEO wanted the committee to make a decision on whether or not to implement which idea about to make our environment more safe based on the criteria of safer, disable-friendly, and eco-friendly. So based on the last meeting, I told you all to prepare the proposal one day early before today's meeting. And I already made the analysis based on the company current cash flow and your proposals.
That's true, Atikah. So what's your plan?
Okay, let's me start it with you, Aruna. Then I will proceed to you, Ayu.
Okay.
Please carry on Atikah.
Okay, Aruna, based on your proposal and you as a public relation officer, I consider that you to implement awareness campaign because it's relevant with the complaint that top management has received. Do you remember it?
Yes Atikah, in this issue, treating people with disabilities, especially in the workplace, is good for our business. When we feel less awkward around co-workers with disabilities, the co-workers with disabilities are more comfortable and can be more productive. So the disability should not define the person. If necessary, we can prepare by contacting a disability agency that offers workplace orientation and training, ideally as an overall disability awareness initiative for the business. For disabled employees to be fully integrated into a workplace, it is essential that all employees are familiar with the firm commitment of their organization to being disabled friendly. Sensitizing trainings and active classes will help full body gain more insight into how to best deal with or still these notions. From this, we also be given basic information on how so to implement this campaign, these are the budget for items such as for trainers, for example, preparation time, on-site time, post-workshop reporting, material production and translations. So the second thing is participant expenses. Is ground transportation, destination visa and transit visa, medical per dime for travel days, accommodation of if required labor or include accommodation and meals on site or per dime on site. So the third thing is a workshop materials like consider stationery for meeting participant, photocopying of workshop materials. And the fourth thing is a note taker. Find a volunteer for pay someone in a honorarium. And then the next thing is networking. Press conference, for public meeting, refreshment, and public awareness raising. Materials such as our website, social media, posters, brochures, radio spots, newspapers, ads, and etc. And then the second thing is communication. So telephone, fax, Skype, courier calls directly related to the event. And then next is project coordination. Human resource time for facilitating resources, people, agenda development and logistic coordination, securing venues, financial transactions on site, donor, and reporting. And then the last thing is overhead. It's considered senior and financial management time spent on project, rent, audit costs, general office communication and materials, technical support, equipment rental, calculate based on the proportion of project salaries and benefits to total organizational salaries and benefits. So I think this is the budget we need. So is that okay, Atikah?
Okay, report on your budget planning. I think it's quite enough and I agree for it. Then you can proceed. So I hope that the implementations of this campaign can be done as soon as possible and able help our company to solve the problem that faced by our disabled worker and also increase awareness among our employee in this company. Okay.
Okay, yes,
Next.
I will proceed if that's your request.
Okay. Next, Ayu, I already asked you from several managers, which is they prefer you to proceed the idea to promote a paperless office. Regarding to the idea, finance manager have mentioned to me that the expenses for the purchase of office equipment is increasing lately, so especially on the purchasing of paper. So I think your proposal for this idea able to solve the problem.
Glad to hear that, Atikah. In fact, I've done some research about how do we execute the idea of going paperless. Firstly, we have to bear in mind that this is not an easy task because it takes a long time to break old habits and create a new mindset with new habits. Hence, it's vital for us to have a strategy. To get us started, I have established 4 possible actions point that we can start implementing in achieving our goal in going paperless. First one is storing documents and files digitally in the cloud. Storing documents and files in the cloud allows us to store backup important files and documents. We can also share it with the other employees and customers and gain access to the stored files from almost anywhere. Second one is avoid printing presentations and using notepads. We have to transition to a paperless business. We need to replace notepads and printed presentation with information sharing technology. Because notepads nowadays can be inefficient for note taking, considering our fast-paced working environments. The third one is we have to shift into electronic communication by using emails or instant messaging platforms such as Slack or Skype. The fourth one is copying document with scanners and phone apps. What do we do with existing paper documents while we're converting to a paperless office? One option is to scan them into a PDF format and upload the copies to the cloud. We can use a printer scanner or download a scanning app to our tablet or phone. To get this working, I'm thinking we're gonna need approximately like 30 to 50,000 ringgit to accommodate all the departments in our company, to provide them with scanners and all the materials needed, such as software and whatnot. Yeah, but of course, going paperless is not without its challenge. I think for our business to be efficient and have a secure method of documentation, a paperless office strategy is really ideal. We can discuss this further, and I would like to get more feedback from the rest of you too. I will work with the costing and detail out all the possible costs. Yeah.
Okay, Ayu, I agree with your proposal. If you can consider to reduce the cost more to implement the software or else it's more better. So I will check your progression letter and please make it able to make our company paperless and also reduce the expenses.
Okay, sure, Atika. I will manage it well and always keep you updated on the progress.
All right, so Aizat, what's about our production line staff involved in last month's accident?
The staff has received treatment and the hospitality charge has been managed by the insurer. Now he is given a medical leave by hospital to make sure his injuries are fully recovered.
Okay, it's great. I hope this incident will not happen again. And the management is very concerned about safety all the workers in workplace. So you Aizat as OSHA officer, I already consider with your proposal to eliminate potential hazard and also make sure employees have used safe tools and equipment and properly maintain this equipment in office or in workplace. So can you explain more about it?
Okay, thanks, Atikah. As I mentioned before, if effective control protect workers from workplace hazards, help avoid injuries, illness, and incident, minimize or eliminate safety and health risks, and help employers provide workers with safe and helpful working conditions. The process that I list out will help employers prevent and control hazard identified in the previous section to effectively control and prevent hazard. Employers should involve workers who often have the best understanding of the condition that create hazard and insight into how they can be controlled. Then identify and evaluate option for controlling hazard using a hierarchy of control. Use a hazard control plan to guide the selection and implementation of control and implement control according to the plan. Then develop plans with measure to protect workers during emergencies and non-routine activities, and evaluate the effectiveness of existing control to determine whether they continue to provide protection or whether different control may be more effective. Review new technology for their potential to be more protective, more reliable, or less costly. Then to make sure employees have and properly use safety tool equipment, here I list 4 ways to make sure our employees follow our safety program as intended. Firstly, we must provide effective training. A strong training program should be our starting point for gaining employee buy-in. Training is specially required in many OSHA standards, but that's just one reason to do it. Employees can comply with our program. If they don't know how, and training is the key to bridging the gap between regulation on paper and in practice. It's apprenticeship that we instruct employees when they need to wear PPE, how to wear it properly, how to inspect it, how to store and care for it, and how to dispose of it properly. Then demonstrating to employees using real equipment and having them replicate the proper procedure will be more effective than any lecture or video. We should also be constantly evaluating our training effectiveness by assessing our employees' knowledge and observing their work practice. If we notice gaps, that's a sign that a refresher or retraining might be in order. It's a good idea to retrain our employees whenever new equipment, new hazard, or new tasks are introduced to the work environment. Second, create and enforce clear policies. Effective and clearly communicated safety policies with matching disciplinary program are crucial to any safety program. If our employees don't know what expect of them, we can fault them for making mistakes. Our disciplinary policies need to be communicated and enforced consistently. The most effective and disciplinary program tend to be accumulated with a first offense or a minor infraction, earning a mild consequence such as a verbal warning, while several of repeated disregard for safety can lead to consequence up to and including termination. Be careful, tough that our disciplinary program don't retaliate against employees for reporting injuries and hazard. They should be focused on behavior. Example, not wearing required PPE rather than outcome. Example, getting injuries. Uh, thirdly, engage employees. A strong safety program has open lines of communication between employees and managers. If we only address safety through a punishment-based model, employees may become afraid to raise safety concern or ask a question. They are the one who will notice and encounter hazard before anyone else. So if they know they can raise concern without fear or reprisal, our workplace will be a safer place for everyone. It's tempting to label a non-compliant employee as lazy or disobedient and proceed to disciplinary action. However, it's far more productive and will foster a better relationship with our workers. To consider other reason, an employee might not be adhering to our safety rule. Is their PPE uncomfortable? Does it get in the way of their workflow? Effective listening will yield a more successful program because it will incorporate valuable employee insight. We can also engage and involve our worker in selection and purchasing decision for PPE and other safety equipment. If our worker have a hand in picking out their own PPE, it's more likely that they wear it consistently and compliantly. And lastly, secure supervisor support. Supervisor buy in another critical piece of employee compliance at the most frequent and immediate point of contact with management. Supervisor have an enormous impact on how employees perceive the importance of safety in the workplace. If supervisors send a message that safety does not matter or don't comply themselves, employees will follow suit. Atikah, to implement all the safety thing, for sure it involves the cost. So I'm already discussed with a finance team and a safety consultant that the cost involved about 500,000, and I'm sure this is a good investment to avoid accident and fatal in workplace that will cause with more problem to our company. That's all, Atikah.
So, okay, Aizat, so the total cost, the estimation for this implementation is about 500,000. So I agree with your budget and I trust you can work for it.
Thank you, Atikah.
So no, I think that about it. Please inform me if you all have any problems and always update the progress.
Yeah, we'll do that, Atikah.
Okay, since there is nothing else and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Atikah, thank you. See you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.